Hey guys, it's TheFrXion here, Tank12, however you call me. I don't really care. Welcome back to World of Tanks, Auction Day 4. And yeah, we're going to take a look at the two options we have available today. We're going to have a final verdict on the auction. And I'm going to tell you guys what my opinion is. And I wanted to rant a little bit. Now, just real quick, before we go over, I'm working on the 1-to-1 review, so I'm playing the tank quite excessively. I'm having a lot of fun with the tank. I didn't expect it to be this enjoyable, to be fair. And I had a game where I had to be top player on your team by experience earned. It's a mission that I have to do to be able to get, the 25 additional points for the battle pass. Now, I've had a game where I did 6,000 damage almost, an additional 1,300 damage assisted, 2 kills, and I end up with less experience than the Object 140, who has about almost 3,000 damage less than me, but 1 more kill. His damage assistance is also only 766, so it doesn't make any sense. He has 40 experience more than me. Like, what is this? How does the system work with wargaming and World of Tanks? Because I have the feeling I've done a lot more damage than him, and shouldn't the one player who has done the maximum amount of damage, like, how much experience does a kill give you? Now, obviously this Object 140, it's not like his fault with the placement. That's just how the game works. But I think I've noticed that experience distribution extremely weird in World of Tanks. Because like kills can have really big impact, and being close to the enemy or not being close to the enemy also has an impact on the experience you earn. So I'm a bit confused, but I don't really know how wargaming works their magic with the experience, but it's not even that important. I just wanted to rant about it because I thought that I really deserved that first place to get that mission done, because I'm working on that mission and it's so annoying. Now, either way, you have two options here for the auction. The Warhammer 40,000 reinforcement. Basically, you get 2 crew member, Goran and Vitarian. I don't think that they have voice lens. I'm not really sure, but I doubt it. I think they're just skins and crew members that you have in the garage. You have Emperor's Wrath and Chaos Undivided, which are two 2D styles, and Imperial Aquila, which is a decal, and that will set you back 3,500 gold minimum, and you have 10,000 items, so I don't really think you will have to fight for this bid. I personally am not interested, even though I'm a Warhammer 40k fan. I just think that the price is a little bit ridiculous for 2 styles and 2 crew members. But I think they might be 100%, like they probably are 100% plus 1 skill maybe. I'm not entirely sure. So yeah, if you're looking into that and you still have a little bit of gold lying around, then you can go ahead for this if you're interested. Personally, I think it's a bit uninteresting, and I don't have the funds anyway. Now we're moving on to the Gonzalo, which is a tier 8 British heavy tank. It's another tank that is basically a copy and paste, because we already have the Caliban right here. I want to say the G-Sword, I always mix them up. And I wanted to compare them real quick with one another, because the Caliban is auto-reloader and the Gonzalo is a single-shot tank. The Gonzalo has a AP shell. Wait, I'm going to show you that real fast. The Gonzalo right here has a 120mm gun that fires AP and I think a HESH shell as a secondary round. Unfortunately, can't really find it right there because it has like 209mm of penetration. Let me open that. Yeah, it's a high explosive shell. Another one, it's a HESH shell. Dispersion is quite atrocious. The rate of fire is also quite bad. Aim time takes very long, and yeah, it's like the Caliban, but it only has 440 alpha. And I don't think it's that interesting. Armor is probably the exact same. Mobility is going to be the exact same. At least I think so. We can compare them real quick again. And we'll see that the stats are basically identical to one another, except for actually top speed. Gonzalo is a bit faster. It has better engine power. So yeah, if you want to have a little bit of faster Caliban, you can go with that. But I still think the Caliban is more interesting because it has this very large caliber gun that actually is like a very different playstyle from the Gonzalo. Both are very bad in terms of accuracy, but the one has an auto reloader, the other one doesn't, and you can see the the damage is quite different depending on what kind of round you fire. With the Caliban, if you fire the AP shell, which is the premium secondary shell right here, you actually still do between 600 and 750 damage, or 450 and 700 damage. Average roll is 600, and yeah, shell velocity is quite atrocious, but the average penetration is quite good. So yeah, I think it's not really worth the hustle. It's not worth your time and your money, because it will set you back 10,000 gold. I don't think it will sell for more than that, because a lot of the players are just kind of tired of the recycling of these tanks. And I personally am not very interested in this. The only thing that's interesting is the style. I think the style is quite funny. But other than that, I certainly would not charge my account to be able to earn this tank. So this is the fourth day, the fourth auction day, and it's the final one. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of my review now, or my thoughts on the matter. I personally think that the auction was kind of meh. It wasn't like, it was an okay auction. The vehicles that they were selling, the Chinese tank destroyer, I've heard, turns out it's not a premium at all. It's a reward tank. There's probably some kind of mix-up, and I'm pretty sure Wargaming will fix that, or else they're going to be looking at some pretty hefty lawsuits in the United States, I think. And the Peregrine has a very nice style, but the Peregrine, I already own the IS-3A, so I didn't have to pick it up. But the Peregrine was available for a very good price. 100,000 free experience is very, very nice and very achievable, even for a free-to-play player. So 110,000 was enough to get you the IS-3A Peregrine. That's, if you turn it over, maybe 4,500 gold for a tier A premium tank. So I don't think that's too bad. The style, the one style that we have for the T95 was really expensive, so I didn't pick it up. It was too expensive for myself. The Chinese tank destroyer was a little bit of a scam, as I mentioned prior. What else do we have? We've had the Gonzalo, we have had the Warhammer 40,000 reinforcement, and the thing is, it is so forgetful that I don't even remember all of the auctions that we had. So I actually have to open up my YouTube on my account on my phone, so that I can give you guys the exact things that were in there. Oh, the Object 268 version 5 for 20 million credits. That thing was way too expensive, especially for the thing you get with it, like the the tank itself. The Peregrine, now we have the WZ-120 and the T95 style and the Warhammer 40,000 reinforcement pack and the Gonzalo. I think, generally speaking, except for the Peregrine, which was a very good price, I think everything else is just kind of boring and not that special. You can basically look past it, and I would say this auction event was kind of a waste of time for everyone. I think for Wargaming personally as well, they will notice that people were not ready to spend massive amounts of resources on things, because I think nobody has massive amounts of resources anymore. Usually these resources that we accumulate are because of the winter loot boxes, where a lot of people do deck up on gold and premium time, and basically it's August. I think the resources, we have had 2 or 3 events prior. We had auction, the caravan event, we had another auction or some kind of drop where you were able to get the things with the cards, you know. So yeah, basically people were spending a lot of their in-game currency on things, and I don't think they're liquid anymore. They're not going to be paying like 15,000 gold for a tier 9 Chinese tank destroyer where you don't even know if it's a premium or not, because it doesn't make any premium bonds or any bonds at all. And the characteristics of the vehicle do not warrant such a price. So if you look at it, I think it's probably the worst event for Wargaming. They will notice that the minimum bids were too low for their liking. I don't think that they expected people to be buying the IS-3A Peregrine for such a low price, because they expected people to bid themselves up to the sky high prices of 200,000-300,000 free experience. Turns out nobody has that sort of money anymore, and they probably didn't sell every single IS-3A. And I think what that will mean in turn is that in the future they will raise the prices again for, I think, at least the vehicles you were able to get for free experience. Maybe even like the, probably the free experience one. Other than that, I think for them personally, just add some stuff. Like they added old stuff into the game. Now the Gonzalo obviously is a new tank, but the WZ has been around in the in-game files for 5 years. The T95 style we've seen for about 2 or 3 months now, and they're just trying to make a quick buck, and you'll notice it. This auction came out of nowhere. I wasn't prepared. I didn't read anything about it, and I think it would have gone. It basically wouldn't have made a difference if it would just gone past without anyone noticing it, because there's basically nothing that changed our outset. So basically, I think that the auction day 4 was, just kind of unnecessary, like the auction itself. So I hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Until then, have a good one, and peace out.